There are stories we think belong only to nightmares, but sometimes they slip into our reality. What I'm about to tell you tonight is one of those unsettling truths about a forgotten house, a night that never ends, and a presence no rational mind could explain. Get comfortable. Let the silence wrap around you. Turn off the lights and listen closely, because what you're about to hear is the true story of Claire, a young woman who lived through the unthinkable. Claire had always been drawn to old houses, the kind that whispered secrets through their cracked walls. But none prepared her for the night. She decided to explore the abandoned mansion at the edge of town, a place locals called the Hollow. That night started like any other adventure, full of excitement and curiosity. But as the clock struck midnight, the air grew colder, heavier, and something began to stir in the shadows. Claire soon realized she was not alone. Doors creaked without wind, footsteps echoed down empty halls, and a cold breath brushed her neck, though no one was there. The house seemed alive, watching her, waiting. What happened next would change Claire forever. A night trapped between reality and nightmare, where time lost all meaning, and a presence from beyond the veil made itself known. Stay with me, and I'll take you through every chilling moment of that night, the terror she faced, and the haunting secret the house has kept for decades. Claire walked through the house, each step echoing like a heartbeat in the heavy silence. She felt a presence, like a cold breath on her skin, a shadow slipping just out of sight. This was no ordinary fear. It was something else, an invisible weight suffocating the air. She found an old photo hanging on the wall, faded by time, a smiling family, frozen in a happy past, until her eyes caught a blurry, almost transparent figure floating behind them. Her breath hitched. This house held memories, and not just her own. Suddenly, a whisper, faint but clear, drifted through the room. "Help me." The murmur seemed to come from somewhere beyond the real. Though terrified, Claire felt an odd compassion. This house, this forgotten place, was trapped in an old tragedy. She followed the voices, descending into the basement, where she discovered an old leather-bound journal. The pages told the story of Elise, a young girl who disappeared years ago, trapped in the house by a dark force. Claire understood that to leave, she had to free this soul. Gathering all her courage, she softly spoke a prayer, offering light and peace to the tormented spirit. A gentle breeze swept through the room, lifting the weight of the night. When Claire finally stepped out of the house at dawn, the rising sun scattered the shadows. She was changed, marked forever, but free. The house remained silent, as if finally at peace. What Claire experienced that night goes beyond reason. A strange, unsettling truth that reminds us some places are made not only of stone and wood, but of memories, souls, and mysteries we should never forget. So, the next time you pass by an abandoned house, remember Claire, because sometimes the stories we think impossible are the most real of all. There's a story not many dare to tell, about a man named David whose encounter with something beyond explanation turned his life upside down. David was an ordinary man living in a quiet town, working as a night security guard at an old hospital scheduled for demolition. The kind of place forgotten by time, where peeling paint and long empty halls told stories of decades past. On his first night at the job, David felt a strange chill as he walked through the empty corridors. The hospital was silent, too silent. No hum of machines, no footsteps, just the echo of his own shoes on cracked tiles. As midnight approached, the old ventilation system began to hum softly, but no one else was inside. The sound seemed to grow louder, vibrating through the walls. Then, from somewhere deep in the hospital, David heard footsteps, slow, deliberate, but there was no one visible. His heartbeat quickened, but curiosity pushed him forward. He followed the sound down the long corridor that led to the hospital's basement, a place most workers avoided. The air grew colder, heavier. A faint whisper brushed his ear, like a voice calling out, but he couldn't make out the words. Suddenly, a shadow flickered just beyond the edge of his vision. David stopped, turning sharply, but there was nothing there. The old wooden door at the end of the hall creaked open slowly, revealing darkness. Taking a deep breath, David stepped inside. The door slammed shut behind him. Heart pounding, he tried to open it, but it was stuck. Panic crept in as he realized he was trapped. Whispers grew louder around him, circling in the darkness. Shapes moved just out of sight, and cold fingers of air brushed his skin. For hours, David sat in that room, paralyzed by fear, listening to the voices of the past. When the first light of dawn seeped through the cracks, the door slowly creaked open by itself. David stepped out, pale and shaken, carrying a secret he could barely explain. Later, he discovered the room's dark history. Years ago, a patient had mysteriously died there. His disappearance never solved. Some say the man's spirit lingered, unable to leave, waiting for someone to listen. David's story is a chilling reminder. Some places are more than just bricks and mortar. They hold memories, and sometimes they hold souls. So, the next time you pass an abandoned building, remember David's night. Listen closely, because the past never truly fades away. Tonight, I want to share with you the unsettling story of Lisa, a young woman whose life was forever changed by an experience she never saw coming. Lisa had just moved into her first apartment, a cozy little place in an old building downtown. It was charming, with creaky floors and faded wallpaper, the kind of place with character, or so she thought. The first few nights were peaceful, but then strange things began to happen. It started with small noises, the faint tapping on her bedroom window at midnight, or the soft whispers she couldn't quite make out. Lisa told herself it was just the building settling, or her imagination playing tricks. But soon, the presence grew stronger. One night, Lisa woke up to find her bedroom door slowly creaking open, revealing a shadow standing just inside. Frozen in fear, she blinked, and the figure vanished. Determined to understand, Lisa set up a camera in her room. What the footage captured shocked her. In the middle of the night, a faint, ghostly figure appeared near her bed. It lingered, watching her sleep, before fading away as dawn approached. Lisa did some research and discovered the apartment's dark past. Years earlier, a tenant had died alone in that very room. An elderly man who no one noticed had passed until weeks later. The feeling of being watched didn't stop. Lisa felt the presence daily, a quiet sadness mixed with something restless. She reached out to a local medium who told her the spirit was trapped, longing for peace. With help, Lisa performed a small ritual to comfort the spirit. Slowly, the strange happenings lessened and the apartment felt lighter. Lisa's story reminds us that sometimes spirits linger not out of malice, but because they need our compassion. So, if you ever feel a chill in a quiet room or catch a glimpse of something out of place, remember Lisa, and maybe offer a kind thought to those who cannot speak. If this story gave you chills, or even just a little spark, don't forget to subscribe so you won't miss the next mysterious tales I'll be sharing with you. A little like always warms my heart, and if you have a thought or a story to share, leave me a comment. I love reading what you all feel. Alright, see you soon for another dive into the unknown. Take care, and maybe keep a little light on tonight.